suddenly flipped the table over, and yelled at me to get out. Listening these vicious words, I did not get angry. I just quietly picked up the table, and handed her a piece of tableware, but she bit my hand. Luckily a neighbor rushed over to stop her, but my grandma still would not stop. The neighbor had to tell me to run away, so I left with my backpack. But just as I left, the grandma bit the back of her own hand. That day was PE class. I had no money for a gym uniform, so I had to stay alone in the classroom. I looked around, and saw a wallet on a desk. After class a classmate realized her wallet was missing. Everyone thought I was the thief. Then her mom even demanded the school expel me. My grandma rushed over. She firmly defended me, but the woman mocked me as an orphan. My grandma heard this and angrily grabbed her hair. At that moment a boy ran in holding the wallet. He said he found it on the playground. The woman realized her mistake, and left awkwardly. But I know it's a lie. After school the boy came to find me. Turned out the wallet had been found in my backpack, because I wanted to buy my grandma a new pair of reading glasses. The boy forgave me, but when I got home, grandma lost her temper again and tried to kick me out. In fact, I knew my grandma had Alzheimer's disease. That was why she was so irritable, and unable to live normally. So I decided to wash her hair one last time, as a way to repay her. As I washed it I could not help crying. Then I took photos of my grandma, hoping to preserve that moment. Soon my grandma was taken away by medical staff. My baby sister and I were adopted by a young doctor couple. They cooked rich meals for me every day, and I had a beautiful room. But I was not happy, seeing my grandma's photo. I could not help going to the nursing home, and found my grandma. I greeted her, but she could no longer recognize me. I lost control and hugged her, crying loudly. Grandma gently comforted me. The next day I left a letter, said goodbye to my adoptive mom, and returned to my grandma's side. Soon winter came. Snow fell at night heavily. My grandma suddenly became unusually lucid. She told me to open the drawer. Inside was the urn prepared for her ashes. My grandma apologized to me for her past behavior. Then she closed her eyes forever. Only then did I realize my name was written on her hand. She hoped she would not forget me in heaven. I lay in my grandma's arms, feeling her final warmth. Just as I sat down to eat, Grandma suddenly slammed the table over and screamed for me to get out. Listening to those hurtful words, I didn't get angry. I quietly picked up the table and handed her a plate, but she grabbed my hand and bit it. Luckily, a neighbor rushed over to stop her, but Grandma still wouldn't calm down. The neighbor told me to hurry up or I'd be late for school, so I grabbed my backpack and ran as fast as I could. But just as I walked out, Grandma bit the back of her own hand. It was PE day. I couldn't afford gym clothes, so I stayed behind in the classroom by myself. That's when I spotted a wallet on someone's desk. When my classmates came back from PE, a girl noticed her wallet was missing. Everyone pointed at me and called me a thief. They all thought I stole it. Then her mom showed up and demanded the school expel me. My grandma came rushing in. She stood up for me and defended me without hesitation. But the woman laughed in my face and said I was just a kid with no parents. When Grandma heard that, she snapped. She grabbed the woman by the hair. Then suddenly, a boy ran in holding the wallet. He said he found it on the playground. The woman froze. Without saying sorry, she grabbed her daughter and walked out. But I knew the truth. After school, the boy came to find me. The wallet had actually been found inside my backpack. I only took it because I needed the money to buy my grandma a new pair of reading glasses. The boy smiled, and Pinky promised not to tell anyone. But as soon as I got home, Grandma snapped again and tried to throw me out. The truth is, I knew my grandma had Alzheimer's disease. That's why she was so angry all the time and couldn't live normally. So I decided to wash her hair one last time. It was the only way I knew how to repay her. As I washed it, I couldn't stop crying. Then I took photos of Grandma, hoping to hold on to these memories forever. Soon after, Grandma was taken to a nursing home. A loving family adopted me. They gave me everything I never had: warm meals, clean clothes, and even my own room. But I wasn't happy. Every time I saw Grandma's photo, my heart ached. I couldn't help it, so I went to the nursing home and found her. I called out to her, but she couldn't recognize me anymore. I couldn't hold it in anymore, so I hugged her as tight as I could, crying my eyes out. Grandma gently held me and comforted me. The very next morning, I left a goodbye letter for my adoptive parents and went straight back to Grandma. Months passed. Then one cold winter night, Grandma suddenly remembered everything. Like her old self, she whispered for me to open the drawer. I found an urn she had already prepared for her ashes. Grandma looked at me and apologized for all the pain she had put me through. Then Grandma smiled softly and closed her eyes forever. I looked down and saw something on her hand. My name. She wrote it so she'd remember me, even in heaven. I lay there in Grandma's arms, feeling her warmth slowly fade away.